Hello family, welcome back to my channel. This is Anthony here, and I'm here with a share. This is a challenge share. I joined Dear Julie's Just Junk Journal challenge. She posted a video on YouTube to introduce this challenge, so I will link that in the description box. And she also has a Facebook group that is for the Just Junk Journal challenge. I also will link that. So this challenge was to make a junk journal using nothing but junk. So I do have a video out there showing some of the items that I had planned on using to make this journal. So it was all throwaway stuff, all garbage. I have a big container of empty food containers and things like that that I save just to make junk journals. When I first decided to start making junk journals, I started keeping everything, thinking, okay, I need this, that can go into a junk journal. But then when I started making journals, my journals didn't seem to be that junky. I was using, scrapbook paper and, just items that I had purchased. So this challenge, I was able to use some of the actual junk that I have been collecting. So let's take a look at what I have done here. Some of the items that I showed in the video I did not use. Some I may have added other things. But we'll start off with the cover. The cover is actually the cereal box. I think it was what were they, Cheerios or some type of cereal box that I used to make my cover. And then I covered the cover up with some artwork that my daughter had thrown away. So this is one of the papers that she had. She just gave me a whole box of stuff that she was throwing away out of her room, and I decided to go through it, and I found these in there. So I saved those from going in the garbage. I think it's pretty and colorful. This is something she had drawn last year and colored for art class. So I used this sheet, and then she also had this chalk drawing. It was on black paper and they used chalk. And what I've done is I've glued it on the cereal box. Then I stitched around it, as well as put a layer of Mod Podge to seal it in. I especially wanted to seal the chalkboard paper drawing, because it was kind of chalky and dusty and it was rubbing off. So that's why I did that. Now I did make some mistakes while I was trying to make this. One would be my spine. I decided to just sew my signatures in, but I had already decorated the spine area here that says recipes, and the letters were actually just cut out of a junk mail flyer. So I spelled out recipes on the spine here with the junk mail, but you can see the stitching through here. If I would have thought this through, what I would have done is sewn these signatures in first and then covered the spine with my black paper from this, and then glued on my letters, and then you wouldn't have seen the stitching through there. But it's a junk journal, so I don't mind it. But like I said, if I would have thought it through better, I would have probably done it a little different. So on the front cover here, this brown here is the bottom of a brown paper bag that I cut the bottom off, and then I sewed it on to the, did I sew it on, or I may have just sewed around it first and then glued it on so you could see the stitching. And anyway, and then here I spelled out recipes again using the junk mail. I used one magazine, which was allowed, and I used a AAA Living magazine. So I cut out these little tickets off of one of the pages in the book. It was for advertising for, and actually I think it was advertising the county fair for Wisconsin from where I live. So I cut these little tickets out, and then here, these words I cut out of that magazine. It says foods to fit every appetite, and as you can see, my junk journal is for recipes. So right here, the little bowl, I made this out of, I want to say this came from my Babel cheese, you know, the little bags that hold the cheese, this mesh stuff here. So I used that to make a bow, and I've also used it inside the book for some of my tags, or most of my tags. So that's the cover. Here I just hung a little paper clip on here. We were allowed to use 6 either paper clips, we could use some wire, different things. We had a list of items that we could use, and then we could use a broken earring. So what I've done is just attach this broken earring dangle on here, and it's actually 3 hearts, and they were from a broken earring. I have a ton of broken jewelry because I do make jewelry, so I have a couple boxes over there of just broken jewelry. So I found that, and actually this was in some of the stuff my daughter threw away. So got that there. So when you open it up, and I didn't cover all my pages, you know, I wanted you to actually be able to see the actual junk that I used. So right here, this pocket in the inside here is actually from a Nature Valley granola box. And then here I did cover a little spot here so you can write your name or whatever in there. But this white paper, I had a few printouts on copy paper that were actually misprints that I couldn't use, that was garbage. And I think some were like timesheets that I had printed out that didn't come out right. So I, you know, used those sheets for paper because we were not allowed to use any digital printouts, you know, or anything like that. So that's what this white paper is. This little picture here of the mixer, that is actually from a calendar from last year that was being tossed. These little pictures from the back of the calendar is what that is. In the pocket here, I've made a couple tags. This tag here is from some tea, from the tea box. And then this one here is from my coffee K-cups that I buy at Dollar Tree. So you can write a recipe on the back of these. Here is just some coffee dyed, what is this? This is that receipt paper. I had some of that, a roll of that. My adding machine had broken, so I kept the paper because it was just gonna go in the trash. And then I put this little cutout of that fork there. That actually came off of an empty cutlery box that, you know, had the forks in it. So I cut a few of these forks out and put them on some items throughout the book. So, and that just goes in here. As far as for the coffee dyeing, I dumped some of the used K-cups out and I dyed some of this paper. That was about my extent of coffee dyeing. So that's what that is. And then on this side here, this page here, this yellow page, this is actually out of that magazine, the AAA Living, and you see Wisconsin. So that is where I'm from, and it had, you know, different things in there about Wisconsin. The fair was one of them. So I made a little pocket on this page with an oatmeal pack, and I just adhered it down, and then I made another tag from the coffee box. So on this page I actually made a pocket, and in the pocket I made this recipe card. Now we were allowed to use one stamp throughout this junk journal. And what I did is I used my recipe stamp. So this is another piece of the granola bar. And for the tab, I've used one of my sugar substitute packets and adhered it on for the tab. So that is my recipe card, and that just slips in there. And this page is sewn together. And actually, this is an envelope, a mailing envelope that I received in Happy Mail. I received something in it and it was going in the garbage, so I just used it in my journal. So the next page here, I used a grocery store flyer, our local grocery store flyer, and I thought that was awesome to put in here because, you know, if somebody has this years down the line, they can even see what some of the prices of some of the food went for at that time. So I put that in there as one sheet of paper. This light blue envelope is an envelope from junk mail. So I made a pocket out of that. There's another fork there. Inside of this pocket, I used a piece of one of the, you know, the water bottle packets that you put the, what do you call this stuff? This is a Jolly Rancher flavor, but it's, you mix the little powder mix into the water. I just, you know, brain freeze. I can't even think of what it's called, but we call them Kool-Aid packets, but it's just to flavor your water. So I used that from the packaging, and a recipe could easily be wrote on the other side. Okay, you guys just don't know how many times I've tried to film this video. On this side is cut out from the magazine. It's a bowl of popcorn. I thought that was cute. Here, this says wheat bread. I cut out words from the store flyer, the grocery store flyer. So that says wheat breads, and it's on some paper. This paper is from when I used to sell Avon. So I had some old paper that was tossed in the garbage from back when I sold Avon. Here is some watermelon slices that were cut out of, oh, what kind of box was it? I want to say it was a like Capri Sun box, those type of Kool-Aid drink boxes. So that's what I put on there. This little page here is part of a Globe Insurance junk mail flyer, and then I took a piece of the coffee box and made some ephemera out of that. And then I've attached some this is actually cut out of some of the junk mail or garbage, and I glued it where the white side shows for writing space. On this back side of this insurance thing is another piece of the white paper. Here I used a file folder, not file folder, a divider. I had some dividers that were going into the trash, so an actual piece of paper can go in there as a label, but I didn't put anything in there right now. But what I did is made a little flip side pocket there, and I stuck a paper clip on there, and this is just holding a piece of packaging from these trail mix. So a nice little journaling recipe card there. On this side I have, you can see the ink on there from where the printout didn't work out right, but I did stamp another recipe card there. I've also included some of the comics that was thrown away out of the Sunday Shopper. So I have that in there. This is the other side of the Avon paper. And then this page here, this is actually old calendar planner paper out of my paparazzi planner. So here where it says soup, pasta, and eggs, all that was cut out of the grocery store ad. And then there's another one of those forks there from out of the Coultry box. And I've made pockets. Here there's some more of the paper from the adding machine that I coffee dyed. So I put some of that on both sides. So when you turn the page, here's some more comics, and it flips out, and you can actually add paper there for journaling. Here is some more of the divider, and then right down there it has some pots where it shows the steps. And this, I believe I just cut this off of a macaroni and cheese box for some ephemera. Then here, the sides, this actually came off of one of those Knorr pasta side mix packets, and I just stapled that up there because we were allowed to use a stapler. And I just put some of that white paper. This is the other part of that insurance brochure, and it flips out. So there's three sections where I added that discarded copy paper. So on the other side does the same thing. So here is the other side of the Avon return form, and I just added some white paper on there. That's white where you can put a recipe. Here's the other part of that envelope, and inside of that is just an actual old Avon order form, like customer order form, and then I just added some white paper to that and stuck that in there. And as you see, I used some of the scraps from my daughter's artwork, and then this is this is a cutout off of an apple cinnamon oatmeal packet right there. There's room for journaling or a recipe right there, and all the pockets in here can hold recipes. Here's another part of the grocery ad. So here I made a flat paper clip using another paper clip, and also 2 pieces from the calendar. So this one says always be grateful, and it has a little grater there. And then this one says, I can't read it, don't be afraid to take a few whisks, and it has the whisk there. And this calendar was perfect because it was like that farmhouse looking kitchen calendar, so it was perfect for this junk journal. So this is the other part of the envelope from the mail that I received. And on this side here, this is, let me see. Oh yeah, this envelope was actually from a school fundraiser. That's what that one was. But I do have one in here from Happy Mail. But I have a school fundraiser envelope from one of my girls, and it's in here. And I just added a strip of paper here from the magazine. Here is another divider, part of the divider, and I just cut out this picture from that magazine. You see stitching here because on the other side I stitched on a coffee holder, the little cozy thing to keep your hands protected from the hot coffee that I had saved from when I stayed at the Hampton Inn. and I made a little pocket out of that. I sewed around it to make a pocket, and in this pocket, this cutout is from some mini muffins, and it says, "Do you know the Muffin Man's secret?" And it's just a cute little cartoon thingy there. So great to put a recipe on. You can put a favorite muffin recipe on there. Same with this side of the divider here. And this was another mistake I made. I sewed in the signature and then looked at my table and realized I hadn't grabbed the whole signature. So this actual is like a folder that I had to sew in separately. So these pictures, this muffin word here is from the actual box from the muffins, and this picture here is actually cut out from an old Avon brochure where it was advertising the pan. So on this side I made a tag from the muffin box using more of that mesh from the cheese, and I made a little pocket there using this paper from the magazine, and then a piece of the, this is actually a piece of the brown packaging paper from an order that I had received from Joann's. You know, that stuffing they put in the box that we just toss away. So I straightened it out, flattened it out, and I've cut some down for pages, and I also used the strip there. Here I used another little square of my daughter's artwork, used a cutout from the flyer that says steak, and it's a little tuck spot right there. And this is the other side of the paper from the Avon, and I just put some white paper up there for journaling. Here is another side of an envelope, and this says pepper jack or Colby Jack cheese, and that was just cut right out of the grocery ad. In the envelope I've made a little journaling card out of the Kool-Aid packets box and added this paper here. And the lines on here, this is actually a piece of paper, Avon paper. Okay, when you turn that over, then there's the divider. And I've made a pocket using paper from the magazine, and then this here is packaging from something from Tim Holtz, and I've sewn some of that brown packaging paper to the card, and then on this side is just cut out. These pictures were actually cut out of, let me see, I'm trying to see if this is the magazine, or actually this is from the Avon brochure. Excuse me. And then under the bottom, it's I've kind of just collaged some of those tickets that I cut out of the magazine, and then I collaged the bowls of fruit from the Avon magazine on top, and that just slips down in that pocket. Excuse me. I should have brought something to drink with me. Okay, on this side is just blank for recipes or whatever, pictures. Here is a piece of that paper that was in the Joann's box with my order, and I've just stamped another recipe card there. Here is comic strip, and then I just cut that out of the grocery ad. It says chicken. Here's some more Avon paper. I just took a pink strip off of the paparazzi planner paper and just glued that there just to bring some color to that side of the page. Over here, blank. Here is that fork box, Culture box of 48 forks. I, kept that box. I used some masking tape, or what is it, blue, it might be painter's tape. I think it was blue masking tape, and I used that, and we were allowed to use one roll of tape, no washi tape. So this is some masking tape, and what I've done there is just taped in the piece of the box, and it has the, you know, the acetate window there, and behind that I had cut this macaroni and cheese out of the macaroni and cheese box, as well as the word cheese there from that box, and put it on that page. So you can put a recipe right there, but I just thought that was neat to have that behind the window. Here, these are blank for recipes. More of the comic pages. I wanted to leave plenty of room for recipes. This here is some actually gift tissue that was thrown away, so I just added that piece up here to add color. That's another side of the Avon paper. Some more comic strip. Here on this paper from the Joann's packaging, I cut out ground chuck from the ad and put it up there. On this side, I made another side tuck pocket. That's some of my daughter's artwork there, so you can tuck some recipes in there. Here's another piece of the envelope. It says "Love Me Tenders," and I cut this out of the ad, the grocery ad. Here I made another tag out of packaging and my Splenda packet. Well, not Splenda, but you know, the 0-calorie sweetener. Little packet there. Let me get this back in the envelope. On this next page is some more of that Avon paper, and I just tore out some of the gift wrap, gift tissue, and glued that there to cover up some of the words. On this page I added some magazine paper, and then on top I layered this split chicken breast cut out of the grocery ad. Okay, this is one side of the envelope from the Happy Mail, and what I did there is cut out all these different fruits and vegetables from the grocery ad. Then I cut out the letters to spell out hungry from junk mail, and then ingredient, and that came out of, I want to say, the magazine. It's either the magazine or the grocery ad. So, and it's a pocket. So I've made a journaling card out of the junk mail, which was a casino card. I added some white paper to that side. I used another one of the sugar packets, and then I stamped a recipe card onto some of that discarded paper. When you turn the page, whoops, I just glued the other side of the paparazzi planner paper there. Here, this little piece is from some inserts from out of my gas bill, the We Energies flyer that was in with the bill. Some more of that adding paper, adding machine paper. And then I cut out chicken leg quarters from the flyer. So I made a pocket with that. Left these two alone. On this side of the Avon paper, I took one of those Duncan Hines perfect size for one, the little muffin mix. You know, you do the little desserts in the cup. This is one of the packets. And I glued that there and made a pocket. Here on this comic, I added some of that white paper for a recipe. On this side, I added some of the, what do you call it? The paparazzi planner paper. And then down here, I cut out chicken drumsticks and glued that there. This is the other side of the ad. Then here, this is some cardstock that was printed but it was messed up. So, whoops, what I've done there is stamped a recipe there. I've cut out bacon from that macaroni, and then cheese club up here, and use that for ephemera. On this side I've stamped another recipe, and I have these stamped that way, in that direction. And this is the divider. Here is some more comics, and I made a little pocket there. Trying to see where this fell out at. Yeah, I don't think that was there. Okay, then the divider. This is a long video, I'm sorry, but I wanted to show you what I've done here. So here is another stamped recipe card. Here I made a tuck spot out of some of the packaging, and then I cut this ice cream cone out of the magazine. Here I've just made a little journaling thing with the paper and the sugar packet. Here is the ad, and then here is the paparazzi paper. No, it's the comic strips, but I've glued some of the paparazzi paper there from the calendar planner. On this side I just glued some of the white paper. Here is part of the return form from the Avon, and what I've glued here is a little pocket from my tea. This is a cinnamon stick tea packet, and it's a little pocket so something can slip down in there. On this side here is that paper from the Joann's packaging, and I've made a pocket using junk mail and added white paper. I've made a journaling card. There's another one of those little forks, and this is from the casino junk mail. And I've cut out the word turkey from the grocery flyer. This side I put pork, made another pocket here with junk mail, and this was cut out of the magazine, this little wine and berries and grapes and cheese, and then I cut that out of the magazine. It says delectable. Another journaling card from the junk mail. This came out of here. That's where that came from. Okay, this is the planner paper, paparazzi planner, and I've cut dressing out of the ad, the grocery ad. Then I cut eggs out of the egg carton. So this is foam, styrofoam from the egg carton. Here I stamped another recipe and put it on the junk mail, making another tab with the sugar packet. On this side of the envelope, this is the back side of the envelope, I've cut out some food here, pictures of salad and bread from the grocery ad, and I've also adhered a apple and cinnamon oatmeal packet, and it's a pocket. Here is that discarded photo album, the insert, so there's clear pockets here, and what I've done, and some of them was just stuck some of the packaging from these Cheez-Its in here. And then this is an actual recipe from that was on the pasta package, the Knorr pasta. So I stuck that recipe in there to show that you can use these little pages here for recipes. These are Kool-Aid box packaging, and I've just added some paper, and then I left the rest empty, and this is just sewn in as well. Then on this back cover I made a pocket out of the print from the cardstock that was messed up, and then some more cutouts from the magazine, junk mail, and the grocery ad. And then another pocket, I mean not pocket, tag. This large tag here was made from some more Tim Holtz packaging. It says milk on the back where I've cut out, and I've stitched around that. Another ticket from the magazine, and then more of this mesh stuff here from the cheese. And the inside of the back is that tissue paper that I've glued in. So the whole inside of the cover is covered with the tissue that I've glued on. So that's it, y'all. That is my Just Junk journal, and it was made using all junk. So I hope you like it. Sorry the video was so long, but to walk you through everything, that's what it had to be. So let me know what you think. If you like these kinds of videos and you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button so you can be a part of my small little YouTube family here. I would love to have you. And the links to Dear Julie Julie's will be in the description box. So everyone, till the next one, stay blessed. Bye-bye.